we're here on the last day of the negotiations, so we're definitely getting to the pointy end of the talks. Negotiators have been up all through the night.
I can't even remember how to start. I'm sorry. Is it? Back to it, sorry.
Rock and roll.
I'm not going to get the movements. Okay. And we're just going to give you an update on some of the things that they're still talking about.
Creating a fund to help developing countries adapt and mitigate to climate change is a crucial issue here. So in Copenhagen, developed countries agreed to a fast start finance fund and also a longer term fund.
So the good news is that yesterday Australia announced $600 million that will go into the Fast Start Finance Fund, most of which will go to our vulnerable neighbours in the Pacific and Southeast Asia.
So the bad news is that countries here are still squabbling over whether we should set up this fund here in Cancun or delay it even further. So for example, the USA doesn't want to create the fund here unless there are some rules around accounting for emissions reductions from developing countries.
But then for many developing countries, they won't commit to a deal here unless this long-term fund is set up. So this is something we really need to see some movement on at the last minute.
So the continuation of the Kyoto Protocol is still a key issue here. There's a lot of talk about which countries are going to take on binding emission reduction targets after it expires in 2012.
So Australia supports taking on legally binding emissions reduction targets, but some other countries like Japan really don't want to. What we're hoping is Australia can play a more constructive role in pushing some of these countries and really trying to help us get this breakthrough that we need. So there's still been no decision on how to account for emissions from the land use and forestry sector, and unfortunately there's some things that we really don't like here, some dodgy loopholes that mean Australia can say they're reducing their emissions, but really they're not, they're just fudging figures. And we've got some more info on our blog about what these loopholes are that you can check out.
So the good news is that we've met with Minister Combay twice now and also with our Australian negotiators several times. And I know around Australia a lot of you have been writing messages of support for our negotiators and holding them up and taking photos. And so I'm really happy to say that last night we presented those to the Minister.
So overall, on the last day of the talks, the atmosphere is cautiously optimistic. There's still a lot of negotiating to go on, and the negotiations may well go into tomorrow, but we'll definitely keep you updated as soon as we hear anything.